In terms of style, our physical appearance is like the frame for a painting, right? Or an outline. When you get dressed, when you accessorize, you're sort of adding color, you may be adding dimension, you're decorating your base, right? And I think the physical being can be very difficult to change. One thing, however, that most people can and do change is their hair. And so today I want to talk about hair as an accessory because I think it's a very, very important accessory, and there are a couple of different ways to think about it. I feel pretty confident talking about this because I've had almost every hair length under the sun, so I figured while we would discuss how hairstyle can interact with outfits, I would actually try on some of my outfits from this time last year when I had a very different hairstyle, so we can see if my shorter length has affected the way I would wear them now. Okay, my hair actually wasn't that much longer this time last year, but it was red, and that obviously also makes a huge difference. The thing that I'm realizing is this time last year is when I was having my exploration around Sarah Lynn Tran's style, who is one of the creative directors of La Mer. And while I was making all this content about trying to emulate her style, a comment I was getting over and over again was her hair is one of her biggest accessories. Because I was talking about how her style is so minimalistic. And a lot of people were like, yeah, it's minimalistic, but you have to think about how much of an impact her hair is having because she has, this really beautiful, long, wavy hair. So I think it would actually be interesting to try some of the outfits I was wearing last year when I was trying to emulate her. I have even less hair than I did, so I don't know if that will help or hurt. I think there are two main ways to think about the hairstyle interaction. One, which is continuity. So if you have a really cute style, you'll have a really cute haircut. If you have a really edgy style, you'll have a really edgy haircut. So everything is a little one note, right? It drives the point home. For me personally, and this is sort of my style philosophy in general, is I like everything to be counterbalanced. So when I have really long hair, I find that I generally wear more masculine outfits. When I have short hair, I generally will wear more feminine outfits. More feminine for me. Obviously, I don't wear a lot of skirts and dresses, no matter what my hairstyle is, but I'll add more feminine elements into my style. Now, this is, like I said, sort of my Sarah Lynn Tran vibe. Oh, this watch does not go. But, her stuff is very oversized. It's flowy. It is like beautiful fabrics, usually pretty neutral colors. I need to grab my bag as well, and I'm going to put on these heels. I changed my glasses for this look. I think it gives a little bit more professional, the square pair, and then I'm going to grab my bag. This is the bag I was wearing with my La Mer inspired outfits because it has that crescent shape, which is obviously similar to the La Mer crossbody bags. They're croissant bags. But now that I'm looking at it, again, I really want more contrast. So everything here is obviously black. It's sort of soft. It's sort of flowy. What I'm thinking this year is we do this purse that I got from Sangmont. It's more structured, it has a different color, it's leather. It feels a little bit more professional, and I don't know, I think it just complements the outfit better. Honestly, with my red hair last year, it was a little bit of a cope moment. Like, I dyed it on a whim, and then every grow out stage was me just trying to figure out how to make it palatable. And I think this look with the shorter hair is just a little bit more refined than the red hair was, and so I'm liking it much better. I'm going to play with my little denim set next, which I was doing a lot last year too. Besides hair being something to play off of or play into, I do think hair obviously has a huge part in personal branding. Now, I don't really know if anyone who isn't a public figure needs to worry about personal branding, but I would say in college, I had fairly long hair, and then I got a buzz cut between junior and senior year over the summer. And when I came back to campus, people straight up didn't recognize me. Like, all those casual acquaintances you make in college, their eyes would just glaze over when I tried to catch their eye. Well, when we were walking past each other just casually, I would like, oh, hey, and they just wouldn't recognize me. So there is something to be said for like not just being recognized by your friends or colleagues or, schoolmates or whatever, but people really do sometimes see people. I learned this very hard lesson that year. Sometimes I think people see you as like a stick figure with hair, and hair really can be that important for how they think of you and how they recognize you. And how they also treat you. I mean, I think Black women know this obviously better than anyone, but what your hair is like really can affect how you're treated. Like, I generally feel that when I have longer hair, I get catcalled more. Or when I have shorter hair, I find that people are more sensitive about my gender identity. Little things like that. So that's a bigger sort of topic to be taking into consideration. I need to go get my little scarf. One second. I've said this before also, if you're like me and you don't even necessarily care so much about what your hair looks like, because I actually think I look pretty good in a couple of different hairstyles, I think an interesting way to think about what hairstyle you want is who you want to appeal to, like what community you want to appeal to, how you want to be attractive to certain different kinds of people. I think hair can really impact that a lot. Besides personal branding for us lay people, if you pay attention to celebrities, particularly musical artists, I would say, there is a lot of writing about how when they get a certain hairstyle, that's when their career pops off. And I think that is because personal branding is so, so important to that sort of career. And that's also why fashion is so important to musical careers, which, you know, I find endlessly interesting. I'm not going to get so into it now, but like Chappell Roan obviously has a very specific hairstyle, which makes her iconic, which makes her recognizable. And who's the other one? Sabrina Carpenter also, I think her hair is very important to her career. That's not something to be overlooked. Like, these are important considerations when you're at that level. Okay, I don't understand how I did this last time. It's feeling extremely what are they called? Air hostesses? I'm looking like an air hostess. See, is that the hair? What did I do? Oh, I wore a leather jacket on top. That probably helps. Okay, let me go grab that. Okay, this is actually wild. I didn't think it was going to be this dramatic. I kind of feel like this is not working at all. And I think maybe the red hair was making it more alternative, like more weird, a little edgier. And now that I don't have that edge, it's just looking, I don't know, a little frumpy, a little discombobulated. I can't put my finger on it, but I really don't like it. There was actually one more outfit with this set that I thought was a lot more wearable. I'm gonna try that on real quick. I think it might still work because it felt a little bit just more me, more realistic. Okay, yeah, this is still workable. I thought this haircut would be cute with baseball cap. That's actually something I very much keep in mind because I wear so many baseball caps in the spring and summer, essentially when it's sunny outside and it's not too cold, so I don't have to wear, you know, a knit cap. I wear baseball caps. And yeah, I think this feels more me anyway. So of course it's gonna feel a little bit more wearable and workable. Great. The last couple of things I wanna try from last year are probably the most masculine fits, which are the thing I'm most worried about because that's also the thing I generally wear the most. And I don't wanna feel like I'm looking too boyish because listen, the last time I had really short hair, like I was getting mistaken for a man when I wore really masculine fits. Like I would be in the bathroom, someone would come in behind me and be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I thought this was the women's bathroom, and leave. Or, you know, I was getting like sirred and stuff, which is fine, but it was the first time in my life that that had happened to me. And I think I'm just like a little wary of having that experience again because I'm not totally comfortable with people actually thinking I'm a man. And that's, you know, a different topic, but let's go for it. I think it's really just an issue with intention because if I was getting dressed and going out and being like, today, I hope people are confused by my gender, or I hope people even think that I'm a guy, and then that was happening, that would just be fun and also satisfying. But to go out and not even have that intention in mind and then still have that be happening to you, yeah, I was a little confused by it, but that was many years ago now and I was young, and you live and you learn. I didn't like those shoes that I was wearing, those sandals. I'm trying to figure out if these are any better. Let me check the footage. I feel like they made my feet look too small. That's a very specific proportional thing that I get worried about with outfits. I feel like my feet need to look a certain length to be proportional with whatever outfit I'm wearing. Low-key, I think that's very important. Anyway, I feel fine in this. I'm not like, oh, it's giving boy to an unnecessary degree. I feel like myself, but I also haven't gone out and experienced the world like this. It's not that I totally think this is like such a masculine outfit. I don't know. I guess, what do you guys think? I also feel like I was wearing these green army pants a lot last year with this shirt too. But listen, if I'm really worried, I do think these loafers are a little feminine. They're definitely women's shoes. Honestly, I feel like if I just part my hair a little bit to the side, it kind of femmes it up. And like maybe that's all I need to do if I'm worried about it. Because this is how I think about it. This is how I think, again, literally about all my outfits. I'm like, okay, femme, mask, mask, femme, like neutral and kind of neutral. And then we have like perfect balance, right? Everything is balanced. That's a little bit of a maybe weird way to do it, but I really do think of it almost like an equation. And then if everything sort of cancels each other out and adds up to zero, zero is good for me. I'm excited to keep exploring how my style may change with this new haircut, but honestly, I don't love getting haircuts super often, so we'll see how long it lasts because it'll grow out, it'll grow out in a couple months if I don't keep up with it. But let me know how you guys think about your haircuts, if you have the same haircut, if you've had the same haircut for years and years and years and it feels part of your brand, or if you like to change it up a lot. For me, again, because I don't do like a lot of makeup or other beauty routines, for me, my hair is easy to change if I want to change.